morning.
Good Friday morning, everybody.
Busy Friday for a lot of folks.
It is. Some people might not even be at work today. They might have taken an extra long weekend.
And some folks are, packing up the camper and they're heading north.
They are, and it's a good time to do it. It's kind of cold this morning.
Definitely. Did you have frost on your windshield?
I did not, but I did cover up my plants for the second night in a row.
Okay. Well, I don't think you'll need to do that tonight.
Okay.
We're going to drop back into the 40s tonight. But it's been kind of a close call with this frost. But there were some locations that were down to freezing early this morning. So, I think some of us had a little bit. It was maybe only for about an hour or so. So hopefully it didn't do any damage to the plants, which is good.
I didn't have any.
Okay,
damage.
well that's good, but you were covered up. You actually listened to the forecast.
I did twice. 2 nights in a row.
Wow.
I know, it's not like I forgot or anything.
That's great.
So.
But I mean, the plus is it means we have clear skies, and it is a good-looking morning for us. Here's the Meridian Company Capital City Skycam. Let's look for clouds in the sky. I don't see any.
Also, it looked a lot less hazy and smoky than it had.
Oh yeah, we've scoured that out of here, which is good. Here is a look at our Jackson Skycam. Good looking morning in Jackson too. Temperatures already back up in the 40s in many locations, and we're going to top out today in the low 70s. We are not alone in the sunshine. If you are traveling north, lots of sunshine up there too, and that's going to be the case not just today, but right through the holiday weekend. So here is the hour-by-hour forecast. Couple of clouds just kind of passing through at times up north. Will not block the sun out all that much while we stay sunny in our part of the state today. Yesterday, winds were out of the northeast. They're out of the east today. So, after the highs in the 60s yesterday, we should be in the low 70s for highs today. We'll let this run out into tonight. I think we are clear tonight, and lots of sunshine is expected tomorrow as well. 10 a.m., 55 degrees. We should be around 64 at noon, low 70s at 4. And at 8 p.m., we're sitting around 70 degrees. I mean, it's a great-looking day today. Here are the next 4 days. Sunny on Saturday, a high of 76. Mostly sunny on Sunday, a high of 80. And Monday, we have some sunshine in 82 degrees. If you're packing up the vehicle and heading north, Traverse City, lots of sunshine Saturday and Sunday. Mid-70s Saturday, 78 degrees on Sunday. You check out the Alpena area, the mid-70s for highs crossing the bridge. Mid to upper 70s in Sault Ste. Marie. Marquette will top out around 70. If you're going to be near Lake Superior, though, could have high temperatures only in the 60s, but still lots of sunshine. So no matter where you are across the state, enjoy it. The weather's going to be great.
So I don't know if you caught Studio 10 the other day, but they were asking, where does up north start for you?
For me, it's north of Clare.
North of Clare.
But, I mean, some... say St. John's, but, that's kind of, like north of Clare is kind of where I take it. Well, why don't you cross US 10, on the way up?
So I grew up in Lapeer, and I know that some people from, Metro Detroit consider Lapeer up north.
And some people consider Lapeer like Metro Detroit.
Yeah.
And to me, it's like, it's not that.
No.
If anything, it's probably a little closer related to Flint than Detroit.
We're much closer to Flint than Detroit.
Well, I know,
yeah.
but that's, people have different perceptions, where you grew up or whatever, and your personal feeling on it. One thing, whether you are from up north and no matter where you think it is, we've got the forecast for you on your smartphone with the News 10 First Alert Weather app. You hit follow me, and no matter where you travel in Michigan, the country, or the world, it will have the updated forecast for you. You can find it.
Where in the world?
Andy was in Europe, and our weather app works in Europe.
That's only one other place in the world.
Well,
are you sure?
Europe.
If you go to Antarctica, are you sure we're getting a signal down there?
Well, yeah, you don't have cell service, so I'm going to say, it works. You just can't, it's the cell company's problem.
They have Wi-Fi in it.
Well, but yeah, if you're in one of those research stations, they don't have it for the penguins or anything wandering around. Google Play, the Apple App Store, you can find the News 10 First Alert Weather app. Search for WILX Weather.
There you go. I'm on.
Happy weekend.
Yeah.
I like that Darrin.
Have a good Memorial Day weekend there,
Darrin
Darrin.
just assumes the penguins don't have Wi-Fi. Did you ask?
The next one I see wandering the street, I'll ask.
Maybe it escaped from the zoo.
Yeah. Now what? So where does up north start for you?
So, growing up in Grand Rapids, for me, anywhere north of Cadillac.
Cadillac.
Yeah.
Okay. See, Darrin said Clare.
Yeah, I think it's a little further north for me. But It's somewhat similar.
Yeah.
I mean, I also don't know if it's necessarily a straight line across Michigan.
I don't think so.
It's depending, it
It's
could be a little
an angle.
slanted.
Yeah.
And, I mean, there's so many different lake communities on Lake Michigan that I think you get to a certain point where, like, okay, one of these has got to be up north, right? I think a Manistee is kind of up north.
Okay.
Manistee, Ludington, and that's up north. That works.
See if you have any. Mine is, so I grew up more on the east side of the state, so mine is like anything north of West Branch.
Okay. Not Bay City?
No.
Gotta be further?
No.
Okay.
Because I feel like if you're north of Bay City, you can still go into Bay City like really quickly and everything like that.
Okay.
You gotta
So
be
it's gotta
far
be
enough
north
away
then.
from the cities.
Okay. West Branch. Got a couple of nice golf courses in West Branch. The dream and the nightmare.
One day
The
I
dream
want to
and
do
the
a show
nightmare.
with Seth where it does not talk about golf. It's not
Sorry.
gonna happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. But here's what is going to happen. We're going to talk about some of the headlines that you have for this Friday. And
Yep.
first, like Darrin was saying, the First Alert Weather Team has been talking about how dry it is, and we don't have really rain really, and that might be a problem heading into Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, well, we have a lot of stories kind of focusing on this weekend as a lot of people are getting ready to head up north, or maybe you're just hanging out at the house. But you definitely need to be careful if you're going to be sitting around a bonfire this weekend. And there's a high burn risk across the state of Michigan. And we know there's almost nothing better than a nice bonfire on a clear night. But while roasting your marshmallows, you need to be careful. It's the 5th driest month we've had on record in both Lansing and Jackson. We've had less than an inch of rain in Lansing this month, and any bad move of fire could be very disastrous in conditions like this. Officials say to keep your fire 15 feet or more away from trees, houses, or anything else that could catch on fire, and be aware of any stray embers or potential hazards. And another tip, don't ever leave your bonfires unattended. In addition to fire safety, we have tips on boating safety and all that stuff as well on our website. We have a lot of Memorial Day themed stories.
We
Those
do.
marshmallows look good though.
I know that guy was very serious.
Yeah,
about
those, golden brown.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, we have it on our website, like Seth said. We also have it on all of our streaming platforms, which you may or may not be watching on right now. That includes YouTube, Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire Stick, and we can live chat with you now. So if you have any questions, you can always hop on Facebook or YouTube and live chat with us.
There
Did
you
see
go.
that?
I like that.
Yeah.
It's a cool little added feature.
I know. I like it. Well, as Memorial Day weekend is here, it not only means boats, beaches, and bonfires, but also traveling near and far across the state. And that's something everybody kind of talks about this time of year.
Well, of course, it's construction, but the good news is MDOT is going to be pausing a lot of the construction sites that are currently being worked on. Of course, there's only so much they can do. If a road is completely torn up, they're obviously not going to open that back up. But any of the places with lane restrictions where they're not going to be doing work this weekend, which is a good majority of them, they'll be open back up to try and kind of influence the traffic flow on this holiday weekend. So I think you'll see less backups than normal, which is good. And hopefully your trip to wherever you may be going this holiday weekend is not backed up or delayed too much by construction.
Regardless, make sure you're careful.
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yes.
All right. Well, I have to move my mouse around. All right. Well, the Jackson County Sheriff's Office, they received $25,000 to add to a member of their team.
That's right. But this new member doesn't have 2 legs, Crystal.
No.
It has 4.
It's adorable.
And it's adorable. Yes, that's right. Jackson County hasn't had a canine deputy in quite some time, but that is about to change. 2006, that was the last time the Jackson County Sheriff's Department, they retired their deputy, Nico, and ever since the canine program ended, 4-legged friends have been sorely missed in the community. Canine deputies have strong noses, of course, that can bring lots of benefits, and they can find specific people, weapons, and drugs. Right now, if the Jackson County Sheriff's Department needs a dog for any particular reason or investigation, they have to ask neighboring departments. So in the near future, that is going to change as they'll have their own furry friend patrolling Jackson County every day.
I know. I love that. Do you remember there was a show called America's Top Dog?
I do
you
remember
that show?
Yes.
Obsessed with that show.
I didn't watch it much, but I do remember that.
I love that show. It was so good. It was all the top police dogs, and then they would always have like another like random dog,
Yeah.
like a rescue dog,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
just an everyday dog. And only one episode, the random dog beat the police dogs.
Wow.
They started with like 5 each episode.
That's awesome.
I know.
I mean, might need to go back and find those.
You should. It was really good. All right. Well, you're in for Taylor today at
I'm in
11
for Taylor.
a.m.
Yep, Taylor is off for an extended weekend, and we have a lot coming up on News 10 today at 11 a.m. The city of Jackson is kicking off its monthly cruise in and concert tonight. The nation's debt limit saga
Can't spell
continues.
in, apparently.
There you go. The nation's debt limit saga continues. Although lawmakers say progress is being made, the threat of a default is inching closer next week. And the new research reveals the most common COVID long hauler symptoms. We're going to tell you about the 12 symptoms that were more commonly reported among those participants. And we're back at 2 here on the Now Desk for another in-depth look at your weather and a peek at what you can expect on Studio 10. So we're looking forward to all of that. We need to check out the Falcons. Look at they're losing their feathers.
They're losing their fuzz.
I shouldn't say feathers.
Yeah.
They're baby fuzz and exposing their adult feathers.
And we've noticed now when mom and or dad bring back some
Lunch, dinner, breakfast.
yeah, they almost like just leave it there for the babies to kind of take upon themselves.
Yeah, they got to learn. They got to learn, but. It's remarkable how fast they've grown. Of course, we did the story earlier this week about them getting banded, and it's been fun.
You saw how they were screaming.
Oh, yeah. They weren't happy about it. But, they're not happy about it, but I think it's good. It's a good thing for the species. We talked to the DNR about that whole process, and hopefully they'll get some results back because they did this last year, too. And I spoke with someone over there that said they actually haven't received any data back from the Falcons last year. Right. So it's going to be some time before they get these reports back from the federal resources and stuff. So we're going to see how long that takes. I'm kind of intrigued by that, but you can see they're losing a lot of their feathers.
One of the researchers was talking about Pickles and how loud he was.
I'm impressed that Pickles made it because he hatched late.
Very late,
and
days.
We're just happy that right now, knock on wood, all things are good.
And I believe they said there's 2 male and 2 female.
Okay.
Is that what they said?
I didn't agree.
Pickles is a boy, though.
Okay.
We do know that much.
Interesting.
All right. Well, that's what we have online. We're going to actually, after this, we're going to take it back to the MSU Falcon Camp if you want to keep watching that. But I'm going to be back here at 3:30 with, I believe, Fred Human. Yesterday I had Joey on. We were talking about all things MSU, Stanley Cup playoffs.
Had they announced the game move yet at that time? Yeah, they had, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
they were talking about it.
Yeah, I talked about that.
There's some thoughts, there's some feelings on the Ford Field Penn State MSU game. Yeah. What are yours?
I see both sides of it. I think it's hard. If you could tell me that Michigan State and Penn State are both going to be really good this season and they're going to have really good records, then I think you want that on a home site. However, you never know. And if one of the teams or both the teams do not have great records and it's late November and it's a night game and it's going to be very cold likely, I could see getting into Ford Field, a different venue, unique scenario. It is a little interesting to lose a home game. That's kind of interesting. I mean, you'll have an advantage in Ford Field, of course, but I think you might be surprised by how many Penn State fans might show up to that game. I do. I mean, Ford Field, it's easy to get to Detroit, obviously. There's a lot going on in Detroit that weekend, which is kind of part of the reason they're doing this. But if you're a Penn State fan, maybe you go check out the Lions tradition, and then you go check out the Michigan State-Penn State game. And then if you wanted to, even you're a short drive up the road to Ann Arbor the next morning to watch Ohio State, Michigan. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. I mean, it's certainly different. So I think anytime you try something different, you give it a go. And if it was a failure, then you don't do it again. And if it was a great success, you keep doing it.
I just think for planning purposes as a fan, I wish I would have known sooner because so many of those hotel rooms are already booked.
Yeah,
it's going to be tough for people.
It's a busy weekend, obviously, already before this was announced.
I mean, people who go to the Lions games, they book a year out.
Yep. Now, the one thing I'm curious about is the high school games. Getting moved from Friday and Saturday to Saturday and Sunday now.
And, families and fans come from all across the state. I don't want them to lose out on a hotel room.
Yeah, and some people, if you're talking about the high schools playing on Sunday, some of those people might not be a big fan of playing on Sunday. You have some private schools in there. I don't even know if they're, I don't know how much they play on Sundays or allowed to play on Sundays. It's going to be different for sure. So we'll have to see how that all shakes out, but I'm not going to judge too soon.
No. Come back in December and we'll talk all about it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, until then, we're going to take you back to the Falcon Cam.
Yes.
And we'll see you back a little bit later. Thanks for tuning in.